Hey everyone, nerdygymbros here. Today we're talking about why we think Greedfall is intriguing. And first off, let's talk about the wood style jutsu. I'm kidding. But yeah, we can talk about the one, what were they, native people?
Yeah, they were natives.
Native people summoning, not summoning, but using her. Been reading Naruto lately, but using her magic, there we go, that was the proper term. Using her magic to call upon nature to grab that guy by the ankle. Number one, that would scare the hell out of me. And I love how badass that scene is anyways. How she grabs him and then the one character like backflips and like whoom, right? Throws a knife right in the center of his head. But I definitely think is an interesting concept. I don't really know what to expect out of it because I've never played any of the games from the developers. Obviously, neither have you. But I'm very intrigued in it. I like the whole. I like magic, and anytime there's magic, I'm like,
It's definitely intrigues me in that it's something that's different in comparison to pretty much everything else that's been done in the last 10 years, I would say, really. Where from just seeing what little we saw of it, I mean, because they're from what we haven't seen. I don't know how much is out there in general, but
I think that was the first gameplay footage.
Yes, but
maybe
possibly. But I think it's an interesting concept, definitely because it's kind of seems to be inspired by the colonialism and everything.
Yeah, what I think's interesting about it though is like you don't fit in with your own people. Like you're too human to fit in there. You're too not native to fit in with the tribe. So you're just kind of center. And like they were talking about how their like diplomacy and everything like that plays. And I think I think the choices that you're gonna make, obviously it's gonna affect the story, but you're not playing. It doesn't seem to me like you're playing a good guy or a bad guy. It just seems like
you have to choose which path, and it's not good, bad. It doesn't. We haven't seen enough to judge what faction is good or bad or in between or anything like that. But it's possible that they're all in between. They all have their flaws. I mean, that's just part of being human. Is that every person is flawed in their own way. So that's definitely the faction stuff intrigued me. But I mean, just from a currently not knowing anything about the game standpoint, for factions, I'm gonna pick the natives, or I would pick the natives just because when you look at the history of what has happened to the native tribes, in pretty much anywhere that colonialism ended up, and it's just lying and murdering of the people that lived here and saying we found this land, and then taking it from them. But I don't know. I mean, I think that from what it looks like, it's going to be very story based, and I wonder if it's going to be very cutscene heavy. Which I'm not anti cutscene, just because I like cutscenes and because it helps tell the story. But I wonder if there's the one thing that we just watched said that it's more about diplomacy than going out and being in combat. And to be honest, I think the combat abilities and everything look interesting when you have guns, you have magic, you have swords and everything. So I think that's a really interesting mix to put together for combat. And it's just, I mean, with it, it's one of those things where you just can't go in holding it to like the bar of the Mass Effect series, The Witcher, any huge RPG that's from a big budget company. You can't go in, or that's one of the things that I'm currently internally battling with, where it's like, because we've played so many awesome RPGs with these huge expansive worlds and so much money and time gets poured into these things. Not to say that people aren't dedicating themselves to Greedfall at all, but it's one of those things where you have to remove your past experiences and look at it as its own fresh entity. So that's kind of where I'm in the midst of right now with it, just because I think it's an intriguing concept. I think that overall it looks good,
Right.
both graphically and just the few cutscenes that we saw from it, and I like the things that we've seen from
I
the
thought it
trailers.
was cool, like how depending on your weapon, your character. I wonder like how. Well, I guess like two things I want to point out real quick is like I wonder how many different type of weapons you'll be able to use, because when they were going through it, I mean, you saw a couple different ones, and then I wonder how much creation you're able to put into it, because like out of the different hats and everything, yeah, the cloning hats were nice and everything, but I really like the one with the antlers. So I'm definitely intrigued. I mean, obviously, our favorite thing about video gaming is stories, anyways.
Yeah, that's the
So
one
I'm
thing
very interested to see like how it's gonna turn out.
I'm interested to see how it's going to. It's definitely something to keep eyes on for anybody that's interested in RPGs in general, just because it looks like it could be really good. It's just right now for me, it's just.
You want to see more gameplay?
I want to see more gameplay, not just combat gameplay, but overall gameplay. I'd like to see more stuff from the customization, just because what little we did see looked really good. So I'd like to see how.
Because like I say, everything that we've seen from it so far, I mean, I really like how it looks. I mean, even from going back to the first trailer that they released at E3, I'm like, well, that looks cool.
Yeah, I remember the first trailer. That was definitely what interest. But the one part of it that I'm kind of iffy on is how the combat looks. Granted, I mean, it gets down to who's playing at the time. It's like putting someone who's never played Dark Souls, like we were when we first started playing, comparing it to someone who's played Dark Souls.
Who's a seasoned veteran.
Yeah, so looking at a gameplay trailer, it's one of those things where you gotta, okay, who's playing this? Is it someone who hasn't played the series or hasn't played the game? Is it a developer that knows how to play the game? And I don't know.
You gotta remember though, it looks like it's, even though I think it looks good, but it's still being made. So I mean, I do believe like the little things like you were saying, like the combat and stuff like that, I definitely believe that can be improved during
the only
the development.
thing I had a problem with the combat was it seemed a little bit clunky.
Right.
And where like there looked like there was a lot going on at the same time. Not that there's anything awful lot going on, but it's like they would be trying to attack someone and then also get like blasted from the side, and they were constantly getting knocked down and then having to get back in the fight. And just looking at it from that, and not including like all the past RPG stuff that we've played, just looking at it as an impression of going into the combat and seeing the person get knocked down repeatedly, it's like, to me that's like kind of, it made it look not fun.
Right.
And to me, games, regardless of genre, just should be fun in general. And I mean, it should tell a good story, have good characters if it's a story-based thing, but it should always be fun. It should never be frustrating or irritating to play. Because if it is, then it takes away from it. I mean, look at Titanfall 2 with the Gauntlet, where
it took me 8 hours to finally get that damn achievement.
8! To get, I mean, that's an achievement-based thing, granted. That's not you have to do this.
But it is for someone who goes down and go, okay, I will not play another game until I get all the achievements in it. To me, that's frustrating, because I couldn't get past that point to finally enjoy the story. When I got to the story, absolutely fucking loved it.
That's what I was saying. Even though the Gauntlet, that achievement was an optional part of it, you look at something like that, if it's a core part of it, granted, not the Gauntlet.
Yeah, I guess you can't really count it, because otherwise it was just, okay, here's how you play it, and it was quick and easy and simple.
Yeah. I mean, the Gauntlet, you can't really count it in this example I'm trying to do, just because it was an optional thing to get the achievement for it. But when you look at something and to me, like I said, when I looked at everything besides the few moments in combat where they were trying to attack and all of a sudden they would get knocked down and they try to attack and get knocked down, it made it look, that's the only part to me that I was like, ew. Just because I want to get invested in it and everything and be excited for it, but I want to see more and see if that it was just whoever was playing the game at that time, or if that's just how the combat is. Just because that can, for me personally, be something that makes me not play it. And there are a few games that we've
I've played that you have.
yeah, that you've played that I have never touched, just because it looked like it was going to frustrate me. Not because it was like this extremely difficult thing, it didn't look fun overall. So that's just the one thing that I'm going to keep my eye on with it, where everything else looked good.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, they're obviously still in development with it, so I'm sure like those type of things, the things that you're worried about, I'm sure that'll be ironed out during development. But the one thing is, which is a must to me, is I want some use the magic for the wood. It doesn't have to be the long thing like it was in the cutscene, but just like roots coming up, grabbing the people at least from the knees up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's just me. Hashtag wood style user. But yeah, that's why we're intrigued. Obviously, Ty has some reservations about it, but that's allowed. You know, I understand where you're coming from it, but yeah. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you headbutt the like button. If you want to see us discuss another video game, make sure you leave it down in the comments below. And make sure you subscribe to our channel where we talk about other video games. We have a couple reaction videos out. And we also have a fitness journey too. So make sure you go over and check those videos out as well. So this is Nerdy Gym Bros, signing off.